Severe trauma creates a physical ripple effect. It physically alters the biological code of descendants who never experienced the original shock. In the winter of 1944, Nazi supply blockades triggered a man-made crisis in the Netherlands known as the Dutch famine. The blockade caused extreme starvation across the population, leaving survivors with deep, long-term health degradation. Prolonged starvation breaks the body down, so the lifelong metabolic issues seen in these survivors were medically expected. But decades later, medical researchers discovered a biological anomaly. The children and grandchildren of these survivors suffered from those same metabolic diseases. These younger generations were born in times of plenty. They never experienced the famine, yet their bodies acted as if they were starving. If DNA is a fixed blueprint, how could a grandparent's environment rewrite the biological code of a generation that hasn't been born yet? To find the mechanism, we turn to the lab of neuroscientist Dr. Bianca Jones-Marlin, who investigated this generational memory using mice. Researchers exposed mice to the smell of almond while simultaneously delivering a mild electric foot shock. The mice rapidly learned to associate the almond scent with imminent physical danger. This experience triggered a physical increase in the nasal cells dedicated to detecting almonds. The mouse's biology literally rebuilt its own sensory architecture to become hypersensitive to this specific environmental threat. Trauma forces the body to adapt its physical structure at the cellular level, ensuring survival against known threats. Startlingly, when these mice had offspring, those babies were born with that same overabundance of almond-detecting cells, even though they had never been shocked. This finding challenged traditional rules of biology, which suggest that acquired physical traits cannot be inherited. The explanation is gene expression. Experience flips chemical switches on our DNA, changing how the code is read without altering the sequence. Trauma turns specific genes up or down. This unique pattern embeds into reproductive cells, transferring adaptations directly to the next generation. The body is downloading a biological survival memory, preparing the offspring for a hostile world. This mechanism applies directly back to the victims of the Dutch famine. Severe starvation flipped specific chemical switches, permanently locking the survivor's metabolism into survival mode to conserve energy. These flipped epigenetic switches were passed down, causing descendants to hoard calories and develop metabolic diseases in a world where food is now plentiful. The war ended and the liberation began, but the descendants' bodies were still fighting a ghost famine. Our biology does not operate in a vacuum. Our deepest stresses and environments leave permanent molecular signatures. Our biological legacy includes our ancestors' struggles and survival mechanisms. These epigenetic switches respond to the world around us. By understanding this system, we can consciously improve our environments, shaping the biological signals we pass on to the next generation.